Hello, I'm Adjunct Professor Wade Renando with a couple thoughts on how to motivate students who might be struggling in the class. For my class, Regional Geography, which I've been teaching for about 9 years, I would typically, when I taught in person, have a combination of online quizzes, current articles related to topics we're looking at that students would read online, lectures, and then a midterm. And I would often tell the students, it's good to have good study habits. First of all, what you do is thoroughly read the book. You can't just go to the lecture if you haven't read the book. Then after you've read the book, go to the lecture, which will cover what you should have read in the book, and then take notes. I think it's very important to jot down notes in hand and not just think you're going to memorize it. And then once you've read the book and gone to the lecture, taking notes about the book in the lecture, first read the articles related to topics that are in the news related to that chapter. And then after you've done that, then do the quiz. Do the quiz after you've read the book, after you've gone to the lecture, after you've taken notes, and after you've read material related to topics that we're talking about in class. Because all those things, if you do them before you take the quiz, will help you do better on the quiz. They'll all help prepare you for the quiz. So I think it's important to have good study habits and to know that even if you're going to a class where we're going to lecture on something that's in the book, you still have to thoroughly read the book. One of the most important things I tell the students is you have to know and understand the definitions, and you have to know what something is, and you have to know what something isn't. Sometimes there'll be a definition that might be similar to something in the book, but it's not the same, and especially on multiple choice questions, it's important to know some of the subtle differences between some definitions. So thoroughly read the book, take notes, attend the lecture, read the material related to topics in the news, and then after you've done that, then you would finish by taking the quiz related to a chapter. If students are struggling, I'll often, ask if they are thoroughly reading the book and if they understand some of the definitions. It can be helpful to work in pairs if you're studying, especially. You obviously can't do the quizzes in groups, but working with groups can be very helpful. Being able to explain to someone else what some definitions are, you can learn a lot by teaching. So if you do work in small groups, you can try to explain to someone else what the meaning of something is. And not giving up. If someone is struggling, let them know that education, especially at a college level, isn't supposed to be easy. And if you're learning something and struggling with something you didn't previously know, then that's learning. You're supposed to be absorbing things and understanding things that you previously didn't have a lot of knowledge of. So as long as you're learning something you didn't know before, even if your grades aren't the best, you are still making progress. And it's important to learn and retain information in many different ways with reading the book, lectures, working in small groups, reading contemporary articles related to those topics, and then ending a specific week or chapter by doing the quiz after you've done those other things, which will help you prepare for the quiz. And then don't get discouraged if you might not get the best grades. If you don't do well on tests, you just learn from your mistakes, do better on the next tests. Get tips from myself. Anyone is welcome to email me. I could set up a Zoom meeting with any student who might be struggling where I'll be happy to have a one-on-one conversation with them. And don't get discouraged. Just keep at it and keep getting better and thoroughly read and understand the material, take notes, and so on. So that's it's important to try to retain and absorb information in different ways and not just read the book, not just go to lectures, but do many different things that will help you retain the information. And then speak to peers or speak to myself through email or through a video conference if they have any questions. And then don't get discouraged. Education isn't necessarily supposed to be easy. So that's what I tell students who might be struggling to hopefully help motivate them.